In this life, there are many strange people. They only see the mistakes of others while never noticing the pile of garbage on their own heads. To many, criticizing others is considered a kind of pleasure. But in truth, there is no such thing as a perfect person. Therefore, accept that some people will always try to find faults in you. For example, someone who is struggling financially will feel uncomfortable around those who are well off. A person full of anger will feel as though others are provoking or attacking them. A deceitful person will assume others are dishonest as well. In reality, the way we judge people is merely a reflection of our own inner state. Being quick to hate, to blame, or to become upset all comes from an unsettled mind and the greed, anger, delusion within us. All of us wish we could somehow return to childhood, for when we were young, we were so innocent. We laughed easily, and therefore happiness came easily. But as we grow older, we feel more lonely, more troubled, and true happiness becomes harder to obtain. Then why is it that we change from cheerful, carefree children into dry, irritable, and unhappy adults? Not because of anyone else, but because we stubbornly put on distorted lenses to look at life. As children, we saw the world through clear, untainted eyes. But now, time has taken away that purity and replaced it with stained, warped lenses. Society's rapid development traps us in endless arguments about right and wrong, about life and about other people. We tend to view the things or people we like through rose-colored glasses and the things or people we dislike through dark, distorted ones. When our mind is joyful, we look at people and events with gentleness and forgiveness. We can smile at a child's mischief, patiently listen to an unpleasant story, or easily compromise with things that would normally be hard to accept. In those moments, the world seems incredibly harmonious, but just a little anxiety rising within us, fears of the past, or worries about the future, can unsettle our hearts. Immediately, we begin to see piles of garbage on everyone else's head. The laughter of children becomes irritating noise. A single disagreeable remark can provoke anger or hurt. Small issues, which never mattered before, suddenly turn into unbearable burdens. We begin scrutinizing others, determined to expose their faults, criticizing and condemning them as if that could soothe our restless minds. Regardless of whether others are right or wrong, we are unwilling to listen, unwilling to accept. But will picking through others' flaws and placing imaginary garbage on their heads make our lives better? Or is it precisely this habit of constantly seeking faults in others that makes us appear small-minded in the eyes of friends and colleagues? Someone once said, finding faults in others is like picking up trash and placing on your own head. Paying attention to negative things only brings more negativity into our lives. Life is short. We never know when death will call our name. So why waste time judging others' mistakes? Why cling to those distorted lenses? Let them go, so life may appear more beautiful, and happiness may become easier to see, as the ancients taught. If you can always see others' mistakes, but never recognize your own, that is not wisdom, it is misfortune. No one can truly understand the life or the path another person walks. So no matter who you are, do not carelessly judge others. The fewer unnecessary things you burden your mind with, the lighter and less exhausting your life will be. Do not worry about what people say behind your back. They are simply the ones who choose to pick apart your flaws instead of correcting their own. Accept the truth that others have the right to criticize. You're not obligated to agree with everything others say. Live the life you truly love, as long as you don't harm anyone. Ignore whatever others gossip about or speak ill of you. Even if it comes from your own parents, follow the guidance of your heart. Forge it into steel, pursue your passion, and take action. Prove to others that they were wrong. The greatest difficulty in life is understanding who you truly are. In a world that constantly tries to turn you into someone else, remaining yourself is the greatest achievement you can ever attain. In truth, humans rarely judge matters of right and wrong with clarity and reason. We often act based on emotions, biases, and above all, the pride rooted within us. If you don't allow it, no one can ever make you feel inferior. We all have two tendencies: to look at the things we love and the people we cherish through rose-colored glasses, and to view what we dislike and those we don't favor through darkened, negative lenses. The truth is, it's not the world that has a problem, nor are others necessarily at fault. The problem often lies within our own minds. When we look at life with a troubled heart full of negative emotions and prejudice, everyone seems wrong and every situation becomes a source of hurt. Every person born into this world must take responsibility for their own life. If you live only to please others, you will never find yourself. Since you've been given this life, try not to waste it. Live fully and set aside all the noise and gossip of the outside world. You can never truly understand how other people live or the paths they walk. An outsider will never grasp the entirety of another's journey, and thus has no right to judge, because without standing in their exact circumstances, one can never truly feel what they feel or live joyfully. Half of it requires clarity, and the other half sometimes requires a little foolishness. Often, things need not be defined too sharply because there are matters that, once seen clearly, you simply no longer wish to pursue. And there are people who, once understood deeply, you no longer wish to be close to. Deep within every soul, there's a hidden corner that no one else may ever understand for an entire lifetime. Every hardship and obstacle must be endured alone and quietly overcome. And no matter what happens, don't let constant discomfort consume you. We never know how many joys await us tomorrow, how many roads are waiting for us to walk, or how many doors require our effort to open. Happiness and sorrow are what make up this world. Bitterness and sweetness are what shape a meaningful life. No matter how painful something is after a night's sleep, let it all belong to the past. Dwelling on yesterday only makes today heavier. We cannot know what others think, nor can we control what they do. The only thing we can do is do our best, wholeheartedly, walk the path we've chosen, and live our own life well. Remind yourself not to overthink. In life, when fortune comes your way, don't take everything for yourself. Even if you have the right, don't push others to the edge. No matter how long people argue, worldly reasoning will never be fully resolved. Even if you win the debate, you may lose kindness and lightness of heart. No matter how talented you are, never belittle others. Comparing person to person only causes harm. Comparing object to object only leads to discarding something you once valued. If you appear too clever, people grow suspicious. If you're too perfectionistic, conflict arises easily. If you're too proud, others will avoid you. Overthinking breeds sorrow. Being overly meticulous only traps you in your own mind. Chasing too much only exhausts your spirit. Only when your heart feels content will your days flow freely. Only when your body and mind are at ease will life feel truly worth living. Cherish the people beside you, for once this lifetime ends, you may never meet them again. Treasure the present joy, for in the blink of an eye, it might no longer exist. When affection fades, remember that no one can promise to love only one person for an entire lifetime. Yet surely, there will be someone who once made you smile the brightest, cry the hardest, and miss the longest. When you buy something, don't obsess over comparing prices. When you've already eaten something, regretting it is pointless. Once you've chosen to love, don't let doubt poison it. And when parting happens, don't plant resentment. Loving the wrong person is like choosing the wrong pair of shoes. Wearing them hurts your feet, but throwing them away feels wasteful. Yet clinging to them because of that tiny hesitation will only bring you prolonged pain. The road behind me is truly not worth holding on to. A person who cannot even control their own emotions, no matter how much of the world you give them, will eventually let it slip through their fingers. In life, the saddest thing is becoming strangers after once being close. Being too serious only brings pain. Trusting too deeply only invites being taken advantage of. What begins with tenderness often ends in indifference. Feelings are like sand in your palm. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. People reminisce about the past, not because it was too beautiful, but because it can never return. And even if it could return, would anything truly be different? That is why life requires us to look forward. If you cannot find a reason to persist, remember the motivation that made you choose and begin in the first place. Life becomes much simpler that way. In this world, there is no one we absolutely cannot live without, and no wound that absolutely cannot heal. The question is only whether we are willing to let go. Someone walking beside you does not guarantee they will appear when you need them. Someone who cares about you does not mean they have no burdens of their own. No matter how deep a feeling is, it cannot endure neglect. No matter how warm a heart is, it cannot endure coldness. Do not wait until someone turns away to suddenly awaken. Do not wait until your heart is wounded to desperately try to fix things. This world is vast. To meet someone is already not easy. For a small heart to make room for you is already a miracle. Feelings take time to build, and they also take time to fade. People drift apart gradually. Affection fades little by little. If you no longer appear in someone's eyes or exist in someone's heart, then what is left to cling to? Those with self-respect should not let themselves be trampled. Those with sensitivity must learn to listen and to turn weaknesses into strengths. In love, who has not cried a few times because of the one they cherish? A few heartbreaks are nothing unusual, because love requires acceptance. Two people starting from different worlds can never instantly blend without arguments, without sleepless nights, without tears that we love, and so the painful days come as they must. Somewhere along the way, our flaws become our vulnerabilities, and we pay the price through the wounds they bring. So when we love, we must learn not only to step into another's unfamiliar world, but also to live in it. When someone shares a part of their world with you, it means you must also share a part of yours. Always remember, we share because we hope to understand the imperfections of one another and help each other grow better each day. In life, the price of becoming better is facing countless failures and stumbles. Whether big or small, each failure is an opportunity to grow stronger. With a positive mindset, it is a chance. With a pessimistic one, it becomes a nightmare. Not everyone is strong enough to accept that only through falling and failing do we become mature and resilient. If one day your life, love, work, family stand on the edge of collapse with no way forward, do not rush to give up or surrender to fear. Fear only blinds you further. It is the fastest path to ending everything too soon. We often believe failure means we didn't try hard enough to love, that our love wasn't strong enough to keep someone by our side. When they leave, we take all the blame upon ourselves. Even when we were not the ones who caused the pain, that we try harder, treat people better, attempt to make everyone understand, even those who never truly cared for us. We accept misunderstandings and bad judgments about ourselves, even when they are not true. We think failure means not trying hard enough to find the right job. But what is right? Is it a job we enjoy, or one that simply gives us stability? Not everyone finds the right job on the first try. We think failure means we were not sincere enough toward the people around us. But if I had to choose, I would still choose to be someone with flaws, someone who does not need to be perfect. We are not born to please everyone around us or to satisfy every relationship in our lives. Try to make everything perfect by pleasing everyone. Is it truly worth it, or are we simply living according to the habits and preferences of others? Life is meant to be lived as our own. Yet we waste our energy, time, and emotions catering to others in a confused and careless way. The truth will always remain the truth. If lowering yourself and constantly bearing the emotions of others is the price you must pay to be considered good, then is it worth it? Women need peace. Eventually, every woman will find a place of calm to return to after all the chaos of the world. Wise sayings remind us, don't wait for others to help you financially, for money is never enough for anyone. Learn how to give. Helping each other is kindness and morality. But if they don't help you, it's normal. No one owes you anything. Train yourself to be independent, resilient, optimistic, and joyful, because in the end, only you are directly responsible for your own life and death. Learn to be strong. Never choose friends based on wealth. Even if someone possesses fortunes of gold and silver, it has nothing to do with you. Don't turn yourself into a servant for others. In life, there are those who, even with only one small piece of bread, will break it in half just for you. Learn to see clearly the people you can trust. There exists a love that is loyal and steadfast, but it belongs only to the stories of Ngulang, Chuck Nu, Luong Sun Ba, Chuck on Dai, or Romeo and Juliet, because they all died young. We, however, live much longer, and so we must learn to protect ourselves. Don't be stubborn about anything. This world does not revolve around you. The earth does not spin for you alone. Therefore, don't cling to what you have now. At most, we are merely travelers passing through this dusty world. We came with nothing and will leave with nothing. Learn to let go, to be grateful, in order to truly live. A towering tree cannot exist without roots. A glorious person cannot forget gratitude in a lifetime. Remember these people. Those who lent you money when you were poor, those who helped you when you were struggling, those who shared sweetness and bitterness with you, those who cooked for you and tended to you when you were sick, those who truly loved you even when you had nothing, those who patiently guided you when you knew nothing, that if you always remember gratitude, you will win hearts. Those who win hearts earn respect, and those who are respected must possess virtue. What is the most important thing in life? Some say cars, houses, and money. Because of them, many people waste their health, collapse mentally, and undervalue their own lives. But once you're gone, the keys to the car you bought belong to someone else. The house you built is occupied by someone else, and the money you made will be spent by others. So what is truly important? Some say status, identity, and fame. Because of identity, people chase endlessly. Because of power, they fight nonstop. Because of vanity, they plot countless schemes. Yet when you're no longer here, who cares whether your status was high or low? Who worries about your position? Who wonders whether your fame was great or small? 100 years later, wealth, gold, silver, mansions, fame, and accomplishments all cannot be taken with you. The rich and poor become the same ashes. The noble and the humble lie side by side in the earth. Male or female, only a handful of bones remains. Therefore, nothing is as important as living well each day. Maintain your health, eat well, plant good seeds, live peacefully and joyfully, love deeply, and cherish a tranquil life. When you feel tired, try changing your perspective. Under pressure, try changing your environment to breathe. When doubtful, change your position and reassess. When hesitant, change your direction. When upset, change your surroundings to find joy. When troubled, change your mindset to resolve it. When angry, change your method of handling things. When insecure, change your self-perception. Sometimes, changing your viewpoint just a little reveals warmth and kindness you never saw before. When you succeed, many will surround you. When you fail, no one asks about you. That is life. Someone who still cares after a long time apart. That is true warmth. Someone who remembers you even when exhausted. Cherish them. Those who are hot and cold toward you are not worth your attention. Feelings in life are like that. False intentions receive false affection. Sincerity receives sincerity. Only in hardship do you see the warmth or coldness of others. Only when you need help do you see who is real and who is fake. Whatever happens, be tolerant, but don't enable. In love, be sincere, but don't lose yourself. If you're not welcomed, learn to step back. If you're not valued, learn to walk away. A scenery you cannot enjoy, let go. A love with no response, do not cling to it. Time should not be wasted on meaningless things. Feelings should not be placed where they don't belong. What matters to you in life? If you make money your center, you'll suffer. If you make your children your whole life, you'll exhaust yourself. If you make love the meaning of life, you'll get hurt. That if you make winning and losing your goal, you'll never have peace. But if you make kindness your way of living, you'll be happy. That if you make contentment your standard, you'll always be joyful. That if you turn gratitude into motivation, you'll become compassionate. That don't live someone else's life. When someone gives you their time, it means they cut off a piece of their own life to share with you. We often talk about time. We say time is gold, is precious, but have we ever asked, what is time really? There are only two fixed days in your life: the day you are born and the day you leave this world. You cannot choose either of those 2 days, but you can choose how you live the days in between. Whether short or long, that period is yours. There's a familiar story you may have heard many times. Someone who, upon learning they have cancer, suddenly realizes the true value of time. They begin volunteering, traveling, meeting people they love, doing everything they enjoy because they know their time is short. Only when people realize they have little time left do they begin treasuring every moment and focusing solely on what truly matters. My question to you is, must we wait for tragedy to recognize the value of time? What if you understood it now? I don't care how talented you are, how capable you may be, or how busy your life is. At least once in your lifetime, you will face an unexpected failure. I am not a god, not a prophet, nor am I cursing you. This is simply the law of life. Let's learn to accept it and face it. Life is like a soccer match. Even the best players can miss a shot. But have you ever seen a superstar miss a shot and then sit down to cry? No. They continue forward, continuing to fight. They must keep waiting for the next chance to score, whether in a match or as a business person. Have you ever seen millionaires who go bankrupt sitting there crying and complaining, blaming heaven and earth? Why am I so unlucky? Why did this happen to me? No, they brush failure aside and ready themselves mentally for the next business project. Don't give up. Always strive to create value. That's exactly it. When you create value to help others, when you use your time properly, you're also helping yourself. People often fear that if they obtain something, they will lose it. The fear of loss lives in each of us. Losing money, losing a job, losing a lover, losing strength. But there is one thing more precious than all others that we all ignore: time. Time is the most frightening because once you lose it, you cannot get it back. That's why the best time to start anything is right now. Right now, not tomorrow, next week, next year after we have a family, or after we finish thinking and then act. It's now. The worst mindset is, oh, there's still time. I'll do it slowly. It won't kill me. True. Taking it slowly won't kill you. We must learn and work our whole lives. But are you sure that years from now, you'll still have the energy to contribute? Are you sure that 10 years from now, after wasting time, you'll still have the momentum to do difficult things? As Steve Jobs said, your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't listen to dogma, living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out the voice inside you. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Everything else is secondary. Have you ever wondered whether loving yourself is selfish? People tell each other that living for others is a noble life. There's no perfect life purpose, but the ultimate goal of a worthwhile life is to spread and contribute good values to the world around us. But living for others does not mean sacrificing yourself, your soul, and your feelings. As letter 670 in 1999 Letters to Myself by Mu Tsung Tu says, because of others' judgments, we dull our sharpness and suppress so much of our personality. Over time, we lose clarity about whether this life is lived for ourselves or performed for others to watch. Maybe that's why we've heard the phrase, love yourself before loving others. Loving yourself is learning to respect and take responsibility for yourself. Only when we learn to love ourselves can we properly and fully love others. The things that must be made clear in life. Everyone has two paths, one experienced by the heart called dreams, and one taken by the feet called reality. If the heart perceives faster than reality can follow, things will fade. If the feet move too slowly, dreams will fly away. In this world, the hardest thing is to love someone who returns love elsewhere while you remain foolishly passionate. Encounters and partings all have their reasons. Taking that flow and finding peace is the best outcome. If someone by your side can make them feel peaceful, that is a big success. When we were young, happiness was simple. When we grow up, being able to live simply is true happiness. Don't waste this life. Do the work you want to do and love what you want to love. Because people expect too much, they get disappointed. Because dreams are far away, they dissipate. When we hold so much inside, it's hard to express. Some people can't forget because they couldn't bring themselves to. Others must forget because they aren't worth remembering. Don't trust your eyes too much. Sometimes what you see is what you wish to see, and what you dislike merely brushes past. In truth, the person who's misunderstood loses nothing. The one who misjudges others really loses the opportunity that we all think we control our lives and forget that life needs many people to work together. Don't sacrifice long-term future for short-term gain. Remember that what you gain thanks to someone else's sacrifice is never lasting. Life is short. There's no time for regrets. Don't overly concern yourself with people or things that trouble you, even if only for a few minutes. If there's no final result yet, smile and step forward bravely. When you meet people, remember to give those beside you a little warmth. Through life's storms, give yourself optimism. If you know how to cherish life and balance things well, joy and happiness will gradually spread far. Life is not a race, but a journey. The important race is the finish line, and you don't need to obsess over the scenery on the way. A good mood makes the view more beautiful. No matter how many difficulties come today, be confident that only yesterday cannot return. Tomorrow will surely come. Hands are not made for hitting, but for embracing the people we love. Our loneliness and sorrow are not because people don't sympathize with us, but because our hearts cannot let go of someone. A true friend in life is hard to find, hard to leave, and hard to forget. You don't need to force yourself or hide. Those who truly understand will know what kind of person you are. Don't reveal everything at once to someone you just met. Know that some people seem wholehearted in front of you, but think differently behind your back. Live more cheerfully because life is impermanent and short. Controlling your emotions lets you be peaceful. No matter how much pain you've been through, it will fade into forgetfulness. Nothing is permanent. Life is partly memory and partly what must go on. Return unpleasant things to yesterday and gift today with belief and hope. Then send your efforts to tomorrow. Everything has its own answer. If you've tried your best, you need not worry or be upset. Let fate take its course. Forgive and trust. When someone intentionally hurts you, forgive them, but never give them your trust again. Forgiving someone is letting go for yourself, but continuing to trust blindly hands the power to hurt you again. We should believe people can change, but let life verify it. Even if life gives you a reason to be sad, find at least one story that makes you happy. No matter how a cruel world may cry, keep a light heart. Let go of people and things that steal your present. If you know how to care for yourself without relying on others, keep persevering and you will surely see light and warmth on the road ahead. Cast off worries and live joyfully. Perhaps you are more rational than others and understand their difficulties, but you must not use your stance to judge or criticize. Don't be absolute. When assessing an issue, don't be overly subjective. Sometimes we should try to understand from another's perspective. There's a fable: a pig, a lamb, and a dairy cow were kept in the same pen. Once the owner grabbed the pig. The pig screamed and resisted violently. The lamb and the cow were annoyed and scolded. "You're overreacting. He grabs us too, and we don't scream like that." The pig replied, "He takes you for wool and milk, but he takes me for meat." The lamb and the cow were silent. This shows that people standing in different positions and living different circumstances cannot easily understand each other's feelings. If we could stand in another's shoes to view a problem, we would understand them better, come closer to the truth, and make human relationships warmer and more intimate. Misunderstandings and conflicts would diminish. Gaining a friend means losing an enemy, right? Every outcome in this world is not without cause. Everything has a reason. Life. Everyone carries their own joys, sorrows, anger, and burdens that others may never truly understand. Many people often criticize without knowing the full truth, simply because they do not see the reasons behind a situation. Before judging anyone, we must first understand their story. If we hastily criticize without clarity, we may unintentionally hurt them. When we place ourselves in someone else's position, we realize that the world does not revolve around us alone. Each person is different, Each has their own story, and everyone is the protagonist of their own world. Whether that story is peaceful or full of trials, every person must go through experiences unlike anyone else, sometimes painful, sometimes joyful. Life often leaves behind many tears and wounds. Learning to accept, empathize, and treat everyone fairly is a lesson we all must embrace. Here's a true story. A doctor rushed to the hospital after receiving a phone call about an emergency surgery. The father of the boy being operated on lost control and shouted angrily, "Why are you so late? Don't you know my son is in critical condition? How can you be so irresponsible?" The doctor gently smiled and said, "I'm very sorry. I wasn't at the hospital just now. As soon as I received the call, I came immediately. Please stay calm." The father yelled, "If your son were in there, would you be calm? If he dies, what will you do?" The doctor still smiled softly. "If it were my son, I would stay silent and pray. We come from dust and will return to dust. Please pray for your little boy." The father grew furious. "You can say that because you're heartless and don't value other people's lives." Hours later, the surgery was successful. The doctor happily stepped out and told the father, "Thank God, your son is saved." Without waiting for a reply, he hurried away. "If you need anything, ask the nurse." The father complained, "Why is he so arrogant? He didn't even stay for a minute so I could ask about my son's condition." The nurse, with tears in her eyes, explained, "The doctor's son passed away in a car accident yesterday. When we called him for your son's surgery, he was on the way to his son's funeral. Now that he has saved your child, he must return to complete the funeral rites for his own. From where we stand, we can never truly know what others have gone through or the pain they endure. What we see is only the surface. So don't rush to judge or criticize, because we lack the perspective to understand the emotions, struggles, and hardships hidden in someone else's life. Everyone lives differently in different environments with different burdens. It is difficult to fully understand someone else's feelings. Therefore, never recklessly criticize or hurt others. A truly well-mannered and cultivated person uses kindness and tolerance to help others improve, and in doing so, also improves themselves. When we reflect on our own hardships, we begin to understand the hardships of others. When we acknowledge the pain we hide deep inside, we realize that others also carry similar storms. The way we overcame challenges helps us understand how others must struggle too, that a person who truly understands self-cultivation knows the weight of words. They can be knives, yet they can also be roses. Such a person does not look at a situation from only one angle, so as not to cause additional pain. Each flower is a world of its own, each leaf its own realm. In truth, it is not difficult to be empathetic. To be compassionate is to find peace in our own hearts. There is a meaningful saying, "Happiness does not depend on money, power, or appearance. Happiness depends on the way you treat others." If you want to be truly happy, start with tolerance. When we live in the present, we learn to appreciate small joys, cherish each passing moment, and be grateful for what we have and what life has given you as that I in life. The greatest taboos are insulting others, children depending on parents, spouses disrespecting each other, families losing order, parents overindulging children, teachers being careless, students being lazy, officials abusing power, judges being biased, police acting violently, merchants being dishonest, artists being vulgar, actors being crude, drivers competing recklessly, friends being jealous, careers hindered by discouragement, work corrupted by vanity, mistakes worsened by stubbornness, behavior tainted by arrogance, eating ruined by gluttony, conversations filled with bragging, traveling while forgetting loved ones. Remind yourself always to respect others and cultivate tolerance. The ocean is vast because it accepts hundreds of rivers. Be grateful to friends for lifting you up, and even grateful to opponents, for they make you stronger. Life has two things we cannot avoid: taking steps forward and pausing. Ask yourself whether you're doing them with a positive mindset. A positive mindset is the best companion. It keeps us joyful and healthy. For both close ones and strangers, when fate brings you together, be generous and maintain goodwill. Without sowing good relationships daily, seeking help in urgent times becomes meaningless. Emotional bonds are like a bank account. The more you deposit and the longer you keep it, the more interest it earns. When dealing with matters, don't rush, don't conclude hastily. In anger, look from different perspectives so you can reduce big problems into small ones and small ones into nothing. The more complicated the situation, the more gently it should be handled. Don't turn simple things into chaos. Learn to be content, because most worries come from pointless comparisons. Someone may be worse than you, but someone else may exceed you. If you complain about not having beautiful shoes, think of those who don't even have feet. If your opponent makes you angry, it means you still haven't surpassed them. Look at who is insulting you. It's not worth caring about. Being bitten by a mad dog doesn't mean you should bite back. So never pay too much attention to malicious words that don't treat work as a burden. Instead of complaining, face it positively, see it as life, as art. Living one more day is already a blessing. Life is short. Don't let regrets consume you. The sun rises and sets. Sad or happy, the day still passes. Free yourself from meaningless disputes, and your spirit will feel at ease. There are 3 kinds of matters in life. 1. Your own matters. What to eat, what to do, whom to help, whether to be joyful or sad. All of these are decided by yourself. Point 2. Other people's matters, someone being lazy, another unhappy in marriage, someone betraying you, someone ungrateful. These belong to them, not you. Point 3. Heaven's matters, rain, storms, disasters, epidemics. These are beyond human control. Most of our anxieties come from forgetting these distinctions, interfering in others' matters, and worrying too much about what is beyond our control. To be peaceful, simply mind your own matters, don't pry into others' lives, and don't trouble yourself with things that are not yours to handle. Whenever you feel uneasy or troubled, ask yourself, whose matter is this? And you will know how to let go. Without hurting anyone, is it true that we often make this mistake, treating strangers with courtesy and politeness, yet toward those closest to us we easily complain and grumble. A passerby who lends us a small hand can move us deeply, while the anxieties and worries of our loved ones rarely seem enough to satisfy us. We often wear a tired mind and an irritable face when dealing with those beside us. Yet our patience and tolerance are reserved for people we barely know. Whenever you feel the urge to express resentment or anger, don't forget, your loved ones are the shelter that shields you from storms, not a trash bin for your emotions that in this world. No one is good to you without a reason, except family. They accept everything from you, sometimes even giving far more than you realize. The very reason we can hurt someone is because they care enough to be hurt. Treat those who love you a little better. Don't break their hearts in a world where meeting and parting are impermanent. Do not let the people who love you most be the ones who suffer the most. Sitting alone on this high mountain on a rainy day, gazing into the vast emptiness before me, everything sinks beneath the white sheets of rain and drifting fog. Time covers all memories in a faded, fragile haze. Even after many years, as the dust of time settles, life feels like a dream, like ashes carried by a cold winter wind, if one had to. Choose the memories that torment a person the most after decades of living. The first to return are always memories of affection tangled with long farewells. Why not the happy memories? Why is it separation and pain that linger? In truth, everyone seeks happiness. Even those painful memories were once joyful ones. Happiness that shattered and turned into oceans of suffering and tears. Apart from someone means no longer being beside the one you love, no longer sharing sweetness or moments of life together. Means leaving behind old habits, cherished routines, and a self accustomed to companionship. Because loneliness is so difficult to accept, we cling desperately to past happiness, and that clinging becomes the very source of our suffering. Sit quietly and face your heart. See clearly the true nature of love. Ask yourself honestly, do I love this person because I want them to be happy or because I want myself to be happy? If love is based on personal gain, then it is only a selfish borrowing of affection. When they choose to leave in search of new happiness, you have no reason to blame them. There is no fault, only the end of a bond, and a truth that we simply are not the right person for them at this point in time. But if you love someone with a wish that they may be happy, then you have taken a long step on the path of noble, selfless love. If the one you love suddenly no longer loves you, do not grieve, do not torment yourself. When together, cherish. When apart, be at peace. That to love someone is simply to wish them peace and fulfillment. If you cannot walk with them any further and their chosen road to happiness does not include you, then sincerely bless them. That if someone you once loved falls in a hardship and you see them suffering, what good is it to be resentful? Even if you cannot walk together till the end of time, they will always be someone you once loved, a bond fulfilled, a debt completed. Parting brings sorrow, yes, but there is nothing to fear. Happiness for them and for yourself does not require eternal togetherness. Life is impermanent. Who knows how long anything lasts? Simply sit together for a cup of quiet tea, see each other clearly, and be grateful for the moments shared. Love is present even within impermanence. Parting does not erase affection. If we meet again, it will be because conditions arise again. That if they had not left, and if you had not changed, perhaps you would never have crossed paths again in this moment. All unions and separations follow natural causes, neither forced nor denied. That to live without clinging is the way of peace. Even if you could stay together until life's final breath, where would that love go after countless cycles of birth and death? You cannot forget yourself while trying to hold someone. Forever. How long can forever truly last? Here in the mountains and forests, days pass, spring arrives, autumn fades, and the cycle of arising and ceasing continues endlessly. 10 years pass, and nothing remains as it was. Faces change, lips lose their color, memories blur. After walking a short stretch of the dusty world, the soul grows worn. Returning to old places after many years, both you and the past have changed. Loving someone does not require endless longing. Just smile gently, live peacefully, and keep your heart calm in the present moment. That is enough. Even in this impermanent body, the mind can remain tranquil and freed at a serene heart. A mindful breath beside a warm cup of tea. Nothing stirs, nothing clings. One day, we will meet again. On a peaceful day, in a bright month, in a gentle year, somewhere happiness has not yet faded. Applause. Now, remember the strengths of others. That is how you cultivate your own virtue. Perhaps we often share a common fault. We grow used to someone's kindness. Then one day, when they falter slightly, we immediately forget all the good they have done. People tend to remember the flaws and mistakes of others, scrutinizing their imperfections and thinking we are superior. The more we look, the more flawed the world seems. Evaluating others is like looking in a mirror. If we frown, the reflection frowns back. That a small mistake from someone else becomes immense in our eyes. Remember, the faults of others is to punish yourself with their wrongdoings, making your own heart restless. Remember the good in others to be a little more forgiving. Over time, you will see that everyone has something worthy to learn from. When your heart holds goodness, the world becomes beautiful. Remembering the good is far more valuable than dwelling on faults and carrying a heart full of resentment. Life does not need everything to be strictly black and white. Clear water has no fish. A person too meticulous has no companions. Argue with family, and you lose affection. Calculate with your lover, and the relationship fades. Fight with friends, and even if you win, you lose the bond. In arguments, people chase logic and forget that what's lost is emotional connection, and the greatest hurt is our own. What is black will remain black. What is white will remain white. Let time reveal the truth. Let go of stubbornness. Use compassion to see others. Add a little warmth, a little calm, and life will always shine with sunlight. Then you will always be the true winner. Life is a process of self reflection. Do not expect everyone to understand you. Do not demand that everything follow your wishes. Life has no fixed mold. All you need is a pure, sincere heart. When troubled, find your own small joys. Not forget happiness. And no matter how busy you are, keep a bit of youthfulness. When tired, rest. Not lose the joy of living as long as you remember your destination. And stay present in this very moment. That is enough. Wherever we are and whatever we are doing, we can be assured that we will not lose our way, as long as we nurture a kind and virtuous heart in our daily relationships. Everything in life follows its own cause and condition between people. If you see someone as a bodhisattva, they will appear to you as a noble being. If you perceive others as demons, they will seem frightening. It is like looking into a mirror. If you smile, you will see a joyful face. If you frown in sorrow, you will see a mournful reflection. Among friends, it is the same. If you treat others with respect, they will respond gently and politely. But if you belittle them and speak harshly, you will receive dissatisfaction and disdain in return. Therefore, in life, treat people as you would treat your own family, with sincerity. Treat your loved ones with compassion. Treat your enemies with forgiveness. If we always maintain a pure and kind heart when interacting with others, they will gradually feel it and respond accordingly. When the heart holds goodness, the quality of life naturally rises. All scenes transform according to one's mind. When the goodness within is deep enough, it will show on the face, spread outward, and ultimately bring sweet results. Music applause. If one day we become distant, it must be because you have become too busy and I have become too tired, no longer with time to reach out, no longer in the mood to converse, and so we slowly drift apart. If one day we become distant, it must be because a conflict appeared somewhere, yet you did not speak and I did not ask. You pretended not to see, and I remained silent. No one stepped forward to admit fault, and so we drifted away. If one day we become distant, it must be because you became too disappointed and my heart has grown cold. We can no longer find the care we once shared, no longer understand each other as before, and gradually there is nothing left to say. And so the distance grows. If one day we become distant, please remember that we once cried and laughed together, walked through many meaningful paths side by side. Even if we can no longer continue, we should still be grateful for the fate that brought us together. If one day we become distant, I hope you take good care of yourself. Let our past be a beautiful memory, so that when recalled, it brings only positivity and joy, not resentment or sorrow. Everything is governed by destiny. Where there is union, there will be separation. There's no need to cling so tightly. Many years from now, who will still remember whose name? Who will still carry the joy and sadness of the past? Life is a long road. Those who are merely passing travelers should be let go gently, with a wave of the hand, before continuing your own journey. People come and go endlessly. Most meet only briefly before leaving to pursue their destined paths. Very few remain for long. So greet each encounter with peace, and you will find surprises waiting ahead. Thank you for letting go. The reason these hands had to endure separation today is that once upon a time, they held on too tightly. Holding on is something tangible, holding on to fleeting prestige, holding on to the image of a person we believed was everything, holding on to colorful memories, joy and sorrow alike. And in the end, what remains? Nothing but hardened scars of numbed emotion, panic, anxiety, suffering, and shadows weighing down the heart. Holding on to anything too tightly goes against the natural order. We entered this world with empty hands and will leave with the same. So why burden ourselves over something so small it fits in our palms, while forgetting the vast sky above and the immense universe beyond? Whether one's perspective is narrow or expansive, all depends on how willing the hands are to let go. Dreams and reality are but morning mist. Peace exists only in each passing moment. Joy, sorrow, longing, and affection, all are silent truths that only those living them can feel. How precious are happiness and peace? Only one's own heart knows. The day someone took our hand with vows of companionship was perhaps only an attempt to warm a lonely heart, agreeing to walk together into an uncertain horizon of joy and suffering alike. When we choose to hold someone's hand, we should also look deeply into that hand and ask ourselves, how far can we truly walk together? And how long? If one day, whether due to tangled fate or exhausted affection, our hands must part, then let it be with a peaceful smile. Union and separation arise from karma and grace accumulated over lifetimes. What we walk together in this life is merely one portion of a vast journey. Even if tears once thinned and exhausted the eyes, even if love never became whole, we should still be grateful for both the pain and the happiness. They shorten the long path of samsara, bringing us closer to the truth. Applause when someone lets go. The road ahead may feel desolate and vast, but peace does not rest in anyone's hands. It is something we create for ourselves. Whether to hold on or let go is within our control. Thank you for choosing to let go that year. Applause, tears can wash away the world. Gather all the sorrow of human separation, and it is enough to fill the universe. Thus it is said, the sea of suffering has no end, and tears of humankind never cease. In every passing moment, living beings remain lost in ignorance. Only those who have loved deeply can feel the burdens of worldly afflictions. Only those who have parted from the one they love can truly understand the pain of separation, life, and death. Day after day, with shattered hearts, we search for a place of peace. When love appears again, we believe happiness will last forever. But separation, one of the 8 sufferings, takes both joy and pain in its grasp. To love yet be forced to part brings agony that words cannot express. Tears must be tucked away in memory. After enough heartbreak, one finally awakens. We have clung too much, desired too much, attached too deeply. Loving someone means opening a door that leads directly into the sea of suffering. So we must be prepared for the day of parting. Where there is union, there will be separation. Where there is joy, there will be sorrow. Human life, burdened with worldly dust, walks wearily in solitude for decades. Even when love is incomplete, the soul wanders through the cycle of rebirth, searching for someone of the past. Meeting and loving each other is destiny. Ceasing to love and ceasing to meet is also destiny, bound by karma and cause and effect. Better to accept the flow of conditions than to torment ourselves for a promise. Separation needs not be filled with tears if both sides accept letting go. What belongs to yesterday should remain yesterday. Only then will today and tomorrow be peaceful and bright, untainted by the fading past. Separation is simply separation, nothing more. Where there is departure, there is arrival. Where there is letting go, there is beginning. Here, there is tea and flowers. Music, what suits you is happiness. Many things in life do not need to go exactly as we desire to be good. The sun will not fail to rise because you are sad. The moon will not refuse to shine because you are upset. Closing your eyes does not mean the world turns dark. Opening your eyes does not mean the light belongs only to you. In this world, there are only tools that are not sharp enough, not plants that cannot be cut. In work, it is not that things cannot be done. It is only that people have not yet found the right method. Nothing is impossible. If one truly wants something, they will find a way. If not, they will find an excuse. Life is like a glass of water. Whether warm or cold, as long as the temperature is right, it can be drunk. Whether sweet, bitter, or spicy, as long as it suits your palate, it is delicious. Music, fast or slow, if it matches your ears, it is beautiful. The 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, whichever suits your heart at the moment, is wonderful. Everything simply needs to be suitable for you, and it becomes perfect. How do we find happiness in life? Where there is gain, there is loss. What we give does not always return immediately. Life operates by its own rhythm. The future is ahead. Just keep moving forward. Give yourself the wings of freedom. Step through pain and hardship and choose joy. Forget the years and the age. Do not let time make your soul old. No matter how old you are, as long as your spirit is young, it is enough. Overcome the temptation of fame and gain. They are external things. Everyone wants a bit of fame, a bit of advantage, fighting and grabbing, and when things do not go their way, they complain. Don't blame life for being unfair to you. In fact, living a simple and ordinary life is the greatest happiness, and everyone deserves to have a friend. Material wealth cannot stay with us for a lifetime, but sometimes a true friend becomes a lifelong treasure. It's best to have a soulmate you can turn to when feeling lost, but finding a genuine friend is never easy. Therefore, cherish the quality of friendships. Build a place of refuge within yourself. When troubles arise, calm your mind and give yourself a space to find inner peace. Look at the small flowers along the roadside. They may be tiny, yet they brighten the world, making it seem suddenly more beautiful. Think optimistically and live a happy life. Happiness does not come from hope alone. Perseverance creates hope. Opportunities don't appear just because you are ready. They arise because you never let go. Understanding doesn't come just from knowledge. It emerges from action. Maturity is not only about age. It comes from living responsibly. Wealth isn't measured by possessions, but by the ability to share. Breakthroughs are born from challenges, and leadership is formed through sacrifice. Gratitude allows us to enjoy benefits, and diligence brings wealth. In ordinary life, even 1,000 good deeds may go unnoticed, but a single mistake can be scrutinized. So, don't worry too much about others' opinions. Live for a brighter tomorrow, without shame in reflecting on today. Time is a one-way path. Once it passes, it cannot return. Life is often simple. Once you make a choice, don't regret it. Humans are contradictory. We want understanding, but fear being seen too clearly. Some matters. Overthinking brings headaches, and clarity brings pain. Those who truly care will wait. Those who are indifferent move on at the slightest turn. In this world, many may smile at you, but few truly care. If you've been hurt in the past, let it go. Don't carry that burden into the future. What's gone shouldn't be clung to. An excessive longing serves no purpose. Maturity carries pain. It's not just about achievement, but the sacrifices made. Some paths must be walked alone. Hardships cannot always be shared. Cherish those moments because life is brief. Stop chasing illusions, stop worrying about the past, and don't dream too far ahead. Focus your mind on the present moment. That is true peace. Annoyances are not always bad. When children stop bothering you, it means they've grown. When parents no longer interfere, they may have passed away. When lovers stop, they may have found someone else. Friends may stop intruding due to invisible barriers. Life shows we need each other to solve problems, and through interactions, help, and shared experiences, bonds form. Therefore, appreciate those who annoy you and thank those who once reached out. The value of trials lies in discernment. You may know many, but few truly help you. It doesn't matter how many relatives you have. In times of trouble, who really notices? Daily companions may not truly assist when needed. Friendship is about quality, not quantity. Like a cart full of potatoes, it can never match a single shining gem. Sharing half of your cake is friendship. Giving your whole piece is love. Giving all for someone is a mother's love. Hiding it while claiming hunger reflects life. Poverty teaches men who truly love them. Misfortune reveals a woman's loyalty. Hardship clarifies who genuinely cares. Companionship isn't born of wealth. Appreciation isn't born of beauty. Time cannot preserve assets or youth. It only reveals sincerity. Life cannot create love or truth, but it shows who is genuine. We cannot live solely for ourselves without noticing those around us, nor can we live solely for others at the expense of our responsibilities. The answer lies in finding balance. How much is enough, and how to live for oneself while caring for others. First, learn to love yourself by listening to your own heart. The heart cannot reason objectively. It acts blindly. If we love blindly without expecting return, we neglect reason and ourselves that do not let kindness and sacrifice become meaningless. Self-love seeks balance in relationships and discernment of who truly values you. Giving and receiving is natural. Our time and energy are limited, so focus on the right people at the right time. Even the best parents cannot give love to everyone. Great achievements often start with small, perfect acts. Most of us are ordinary. Understand yourself, live for yourself, and for what truly matters. Everyone must bear responsibility for their own life. Living solely to please others will never reveal your true self. Life is a gift. Live it without wasting time. Discard the world's trivial judgments that if others criticize you, it reflects their limitations, not yours. Each person has a unique character. Comparisons are meaningless. Trust yourself and know your worth. Words can wound more than actions. Even trusted friends cannot live your life. Only you are responsible. Never place your destiny in another's hands. Sadness passes. Rising above it brings growth. The world will always speak. Choose what to hear. Listen to goodness and act upon it. We are born to enjoy life, not to suffer for others' expectations. Some explanations are unnecessary. Trust yourself. This is a key life skill. Hastiness and carelessness in words can make us encounter problems. Before speaking, learn to think carefully and clearly. Do not let your mouth harm your own body. The greatest mistake of humans is never controlling their emotions. People who live purely by instinct may ruin significant matters simply out of a momentary impulse. As long as people have relationships, even close ones, conflicts will sometimes arise. That is why. Do not let anger overpower reason. Only when conflicts occur do we gain lessons and grow. Never allow yourself to live for the opinions of others, for perhaps no one is truly sincere from beginning to end. When you have everything, you become their idol. They speak sweet words to you. When you have nothing, you're just an ordinary person in their story. Affection cannot be held by one person alone. Without a supportive companion, it becomes a burden. Alone, enduring the storms of life, the present will shape the future similarly. Therefore, know how to help yourself, let go, and move forward. You will see tomorrow with lightness and ease. In human interactions, a hot temper and careless words, no matter how kind the heart, can make others wary and avoid you. Thus, even if you have strong reasons, be gentle. Arguments should be firm, but temperament should be harmonious. Forgiving once is creating merit. The wider the heart, the greater the blessing. When intending to criticize others, first examine your own faults before speaking. Speaking too much is less effective than speaking little. Speaking little is less effective than speaking at the right time. Do not be too harsh with those who err, but avoid those who refuse to accept and correct their mistakes. Remember, yielding once shows tolerance, twice shows generosity, but the third becomes weakness. Do not fear being busy. Being occupied helps avoid gossip, while idleness brings no meaningful joy. Fear not being stabbed in the back, but rather seeing, upon turning, someone you treated sincerely becoming a laughing matter in other stories. What is the highest form of communication? It is maintaining respect and composure even with those closest to you. Knowing how to release resentment is wisdom. Sharing love is happiness. Always remember, the brightest is the sun. The greatest kindness is from a noble person, and the petty person always calculates. This understanding allows you to act wisely in life. Money is meant to be spent. Enough spending is a blessing. Too much becomes anxiety. A house is for living, not a burden. Whether big or small, the resident's happiness matters most. The house's location is less important than its comfort. Vehicles are tools for travel. Their brand is irrelevant. Safety and joy matter. Fame is the result of effort, not a privilege. Moderate fame is a blessing, for excessive fame and power rarely bring peace. Food nourishes the body. Moderation ensures health. Excess harms oneself. Living a lifetime, one ultimately realizes what matters. Life need not be extravagant. Daily meaningful moments suffice. Happiness does not come from comparing with others, but from gently appreciating joy. Health does not come from external sources, but from within. Point 10 reflections. A person harboring hatred does not find peace. One filled with anger cannot be happy. Therefore, never hate anyone. Fate is like a book. If you ignore it, you miss details. Yet if you obsess over it, you exhaust yourself. Avoid arguing with those unreasonable. Otherwise, it becomes difficult to discern who is right. Knowledge is a bronze medal, skill is silver, relationships are gold, and mindset rules them all. Success favors not those who start strong, but those who navigate challenges wisely. There are two kinds of money, one to spend called currency, one to save called wealth. A person who does not flaunt beauty has ambition. One who does not boast wealth cultivates virtue. Expressing all emotions outwardly is instinct. Controlling them shows maturity. Therefore, be mindful of your words. A single kind word can warm 3 cold winters. Speaking harshly can make others feel a chill, even in the heat of a summer afternoon. Therefore, before speaking, remember to think carefully. When facing sensitive matters, choose words with caution and avoid unnecessary remarks so that your words do not cause resentment. Over time, even hostility can transform into friendship. That if people do not know how to cherish the values of life, their hearts will wither like a barren desert. Holding a rose brings fragrance to your hand. Likewise, knowing how to love others is a way of valuing yourself. Share love generously with everyone, like the midday sun that illuminates all corners. Happiness and luck do not depend on wealth or status, but on the joy within. No matter how much praise or sweet words you receive, true happiness lies in having someone by your side to comfort and support you when you are weak or in pain. The most precious thing is not the material possessions you own, but the companions who walk alongside you. We cannot force others to love us. We can only make ourselves worthy of love. As a child, we think losing blood is terrible, so we cry first and figure things out later. Growing up, we realize that sometimes tears hurt more than the wound itself. In truth, apart from life and death, all things are minor. From today onward, no matter what troubles arise, do not be harsh on yourself. Even when facing adversity, do not feel sorrowful, for there is always tomorrow. Today is merely a transition. Remember, the harder you try, the luckier you become. You will overcome everything. Life is short. Everything comes and goes like water. In this miraculous journey, meeting someone is already fate. Lessons arise from unexpected circumstances. Even a dirty finger should not be cut off. A poorly fitting hat does not require resizing. When one door closes, another opens. Whether you notice it or not is up to you. When feeling suffering, the first thing to discard is stubbornness. Whether you are willing to let go is your choice. Many spend life chasing big houses and wealth, but the truth is a simple painting and a bench are enough to enjoy the joy of serenity. Judgments, no matter how justified, are like a sharp sword that separates hearts and deepens distance. Habitual judgment can make us overlook the present beauty. Walking through a cherry blossom forest without appreciating each branch, only comparing it to past years, brings disappointment and sadness. Cherry blossoms endure the cold of winter to bloom. They do their best, yet we unfairly expect them to meet our desires. Are we at fault, or the cherry blossoms? Has anyone else admired them this year with the same melancholy we feel? Often, we give irresponsible judgments. Life needs principles and standards for balance, but not everything requires rigid rules. Standards are relative, shaped by society and time. No universal standard dictates how to admire cherry blossoms or beauty. Personal judgment is allowed, but careless remarks cloud perception. Comparing and layering personal likes and dislikes on reality prevents us from seeing truth. Offering feedback to help others grow and brighten life is valuable, yet most of our judgments serve selfish protection. Observation and judgment are different. Judgment asserts irrevocable correctness. Feedback can be right or wrong, but judgment usually condemns, rarely supports. Only those authorized by law must judge right from wrong for societal order, but this is done reluctantly. Everyone errs. Everyone has potential for virtue. When we judge, we see only part of a person. Past mistakes do not define them today. A transformed soul cannot be confined to former judgments, no matter how stubborn we are. Life is full of moments we overlook due to indifference. Our opinions are always tied to personal preferences. If someone asks about another person, we must remain objective, providing only necessary and truthful information, tempered with wisdom. This is my perspective. It may not be entirely correct. A respected voice can profoundly influence others. Careless judgment can feel like a life sentence. The story of Nam Song's widow illustrates this. When Truong left for battle, Thiet cared for their child, soothing it with shadows on the wall, pretending to be the father. A year later, Truong returned, heartbroken when the child did not recognize him. Though advised otherwise, he assumed betrayal, and Thiet, desperate and unheard, ended her life. Truong's misunderstanding shows the danger of letting pride or bias block listening before judgment. That we sincerely thank you for dedicating your time to follow and support the Spiritual Buddhism channel. Your care and encouragement are invaluable. To not miss future videos, please subscribe and enable notifications. This ensures easy access to meaningful and enriching Buddhist teachings, helping enhance spiritual life. We hope to continue receiving your companionship in upcoming videos. Thank you.